Hope cast into ruin. This is like my entire thoughts on like all of Age of Sigmar now. Like completely. Like back when they did this at the Space Marine range, I don't think I considered it as important as a lot of other people were, because I'm like, yeah, I have some dreadnoughts. I have some boxy dreadnoughts, which were discontinued in like a previous discontinue, because they did multiple waves of Space Marine removals. So when they removed a bunch of stuff repeatedly, I was irritated, but it wasn't like the stuff I was using at the time. So I was like, do I care? I guess I don't, but I should have cared, because it was a sign of things to come. Because now, this has just happened to Sigmar with a bunch of stuff. And like some of the stuff, like it makes no sense. Like, it's weird all this rat stuff is being removed, because like people want rats in the old world, and here are the models, and they're just being discontinued. And then here they're just removing the Beasts of Chaos army. It's just going away. Leaving Warhammer Age of Sigmar, they'll be returning in the World of Legend in the old world. So if you have this army that you're playing in Sigmar and you enjoy it, you just can't enjoy it anymore. It's gone. I'm like, these I can see. This makes sense going away, because these were just for another game. They're really nice models. I did consider getting some of them at times, but like I didn't. But they're nice models. It was nice to be able to use them in the army. So it's not super surprising to see this go away, because it's not like a set unit. But like, more importantly is the Stormcast. So when Age of Sigmar launched, I was like taking a break from Warhammer, because I didn't like where fantasy had gone and it was being discontinued. So I was like, I'll just take a break. So I took a break. And I didn't really care for the Stormcast. And then the Sacrosanct Chamber came. Like these, almost my entire army is Sacrosanct Chamber, because it's just my favorite. I love the way they look. They look so cool. Like Sequitors are like my favorite infantry models ever made. The Ballista's cool. And then there's stuff like the Heralder that aren't Sacrosanct but are really cool. Judicators, Prosecutors, Castigators, like all bunch of cool stuff. Like the Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger. Like I made a custom one. It's this lady here, and I put her on a Griff Charger from a different kit, and I put it on top of the base that she's normally on. Like if we scroll down, yeah, it's this guy here, this particular Griff Charger, and it's still on this base, and then she's on top of the Griff Charger, and it's so good. It's like it's been the leader of my army the entire time I played Stormcast, because the Sacrosanct Chamber is just so cool. It was immediately what made me super interested in actually playing this game. And now it's just all going away. Oops. It's all going away. Like the entire thing, all my models. Like, and you can't use, like, Sequitors, I could still technically use them. I could use them as Liberators, because even the Liberators going away, there are new Liberators coming. I don't like them, which was fine. It was fine that I didn't like them, because I have the old ones, which I can still use. There's nothing changing about that. But I don't like, we scroll the way up, these newer models with the spears. I'm not a big fan of them. I liked the chunky, thick boys. Like, I have Annihilators in my army because they're just so chunky and thick. But how long do I have those in my army? How long would I want to get a Stormstrike carrier? How long would that be in my army before it's just discontinued or removed? Because, like, yeah, I can use Sequitors. And it makes me want to, like, buy another box of Sequitors before they're gone, just so I can have, like, more. Because I don't want to play now. Like, it's just destroyed, because like any army, because I'm slow at making armies. Like, it's a lot of work to like build and paint and base and get all these things going. Like, yes, I did a lot of Space Marines in a short amount of time, and I was really hyped for it. But that's the exception to the rule. That's not how I am normally. Like, I've been working on my Stormcast for literally years. And it's like all wasted now. And some of these models, like prosecutors, I recently bought because I've been working on them. Like, how much are prosecutors? $95. I just recently bought some of these guys. And now they're worthless. Like my army, like Ballista, Sequitors, Evocators, Knight Heralder, Knight Azarius. This is a weird one because, like, if we go over here, it's a dual kit. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's a dual kit. It's Knight Azarius and Knight Venator. These are the same kit. And I made myself a beautiful custom Knight Venator. I spent a lot of time, bought some extra parts. Beautiful, beautiful kit. Like, it's like custom and unique. It's my favorite. I love it. And it's not on this list. At least I'm like not blind and I missed it. But this is on the list. So does that mean there's going to be another wave? It's like, oh, these are the things that are going away. Oh, by the way, we're also discontinuing these model kits. So also the Venator is going away because that was part of this kit. Lord Ordinator is going away. So we're discontinuing this kit, which is also the hero. Evocators and Dracolines are just not in Stormcast anymore. They're just no Dracolines. Like, a whole mount is now just removed. They're just gone. And like I was saying, you can use Sequitors as Liberators. What are you going to do with your Paladins, your Judicators, your Ballista, your Evocators, your Prosecutors, your Castigators? Like, what do you do with those? You can't use those. And these are like the primary spellcasters too. Like, maybe there's spellcasters in the current range. I don't know. Because just like version 1, like I have some version 1 models. Like I have this model kit. Because it's a cool model kit. And it's in my army. And of course, we all know I purchased this boy. He's cool. He's in my army. I purchased these because they're in my army. I don't know. I just kind of like want to get a Stormstrike Chariot, and another U-box of Sequitors here, and then just paint up my army and just have them for display, just like my Space Marines, and just never play with them because they don't have rules. So how long will my Space Marines still have rules? Like, it makes me question wanting to invest any time in the game because it takes so long to make stuff. It takes so long to paint and put it together. Then you got to find time to play people. It's not like I have infinite free time. So I'm limited in how much time I have that's free. There's lots of things you want to do. And it's just like, why? And like 10th edition 40K, I was like super hyped for. And then it turned out everyone's like, oh, this is the poopiest. It's the worst. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't played it, but I can't. Everyone hates it. So why do I want to play it? I don't know. It's just so disheartening. It's just like, it's like my entire army has just been removed from the game. And I can't just replace it because, one, it costs a bunch of money to replace all these Stormcast models. And two, I don't want to replace them because I was playing the army I wanted to play. And now I can't, so it's gone. So like, I just want to like paint them up and keep them in mine, and then like do the same thing for my Space Marines. Because like I have no interest in playing any games now. Because like, who knows how long the game will actually exist, or my army will actually exist in the game now. Like, what's the point of spending like $50 on a character, a single model, when the next edition he just gets axed. He's removed. And now you just spent $50 on a model that you can't use in the game anymore. That you have to buy all new rule books for the next edition. So not only are you buying a new book, a new army book, you don't have to buy just a new army if your models were all discontinued. If you were playing Scouts and Bikes, your army was just discontinued. Like, yes, these Scouts came back, but they don't have the same gear loadout. So if you have like Sniper Scouts, they're just gone. If you have the Lightsaber Storms, just gone. If you have these, they're just gone. They're like, you can use them as the other thing, but not really the same. It's just so, I don't know. It's really upsetting because I'm like, and people are like, well, it's just a game. Why are you so angry? Or why are you so upset? Or why are you so sad? It's because what's a game you play? It's something you do in your free time, something you enjoy. Let's say you play Fortnite and then you spend a bunch of money on skins and the game plays a certain way and you're having fun on it. And then they're like, okay, we're making Fortnite 2. All your skins don't transfer over and the gameplay plays different. You'd be unhappy if you loved Fortnite. You'd be like, oh, this is no fun. This is not the game I was playing before. I want to play the game I was playing before, but you can't because it's gone. And in theory, I could still play Stormcast. Like, I can just play 3rd edition Age of Sigmar and keep playing it, but then you got to find other people. Because the thing is, with when they did this to 40k, and they're doing it to this, they're not doing it to every single thing. Not every faction is getting this. Yes, Stormcast are losing a bunch, and Beast of Chaos are losing a bunch. So they're like, well, I just want to play Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. But then 4th edition is going to have like new stuff for the other armies that weren't affected. So if your friend's playing Slaves to Darkness or Seraphon, they're like, oh, I want the new rules. I want to play with the new stuff. So I'm playing with the new stuff. And like, the reason I was working on like Sigmar armies was because of my Stormcast. Like I kept working on other Stormcast armies and then I always come back to my Stormcast. Like, they're my favorite. And there was like a model that you could get for free. Like you should go, it's your free model. And it was a Sequitur. And she's standing on like a raised platform. And she's like my unit champion. Oh, I don't know. It just makes me like, it kills all desire to play the game. Like I only want to buy a Stormstrike Chariot and in a unit of Sequiturs just because of the FOMO. Just because like, if I don't get them now, they'll be gone forever. And then I'll just never have them again. And it's like, you can't use them in the game. But I like the models. They were my Stormcasts. And then they're like, well, there's going to be Legends rules. Look at this. Where does it say here? Swift released new edition. A battle tome containing most of these war scrolls were made available for free, and the Warhammer community representing those wars who simply devoted to Khazad to return to Azar. Now, it doesn't say they're Legends rules, but because it's free rules, I'm assuming they are, because it does say Legends rule scroll here. And you doesn't receive an updated war scroll, and the battle tome Skaven drops will receive Legends war scroll. And then Slaves to Darkness doesn't say anything about any rules for these guys. And Beasts of Chaos, nothing about any rules. And then these miniatures are going off sale and receiving Legends War Scrolls. So I don't know if this is like a battle tome, so it's going to be like battle tome Sacrosanct. Is that going to be like Legends rules? Because if they're Legends rules, they're not rules. People argue like, oh yeah, they're rules. But the problem is, if they were rules, they would just be called rules. They're not. They're called Legends rules. They have the qualifier because they're not actually rules that matter. They're not rules that get updated. They're rules that exist. So it doesn't feel like you wasted all your money and time on these models. Because you can still use them. But you can't. Big sad.